organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up today on Daily Iowan TV, downtown dining. See what food was offered yesterday at the 10th annual Taste of Iowa City. And Dubuque Construction, we have an update on the Gateway project.
Sports has a new segment you'll want to stay around for.
Plus, find out where your Hawkeye sports are at this weekend.
All that and more coming up. Daily Iowan TV starts now. Good morning and thanks for tuning in to Daily Iowan TV. I'm Cole Johnson. The annual downtown event, Taste of Iowa City, was held last night and gave the people of Iowa City the chance to sample food from a few local restaurants. This year, University of Iowa students had the ability to use their student ID to get 5 free tickets to purchase food samples. Daily Iowan TV reporter Zhao Li has the details.
The annual downtown event, Taste of Iowa City, gives people opportunity to get sampling food from dozens of Iowa City downtown restaurants. You just need a little ticket like this, and then you can get tasty food like behind me.
This is University of Iowa senior Ge Li's first time to participate in the event. She said she gets to know the restaurants better through the sampling food.
If I try their samples and this is my favorite, maybe I will go to the restaurant next time.
And for others, it's also a good chance for them to find taste close to home.
This one is mango lassi from Masala, the Indian restaurant down there. It's really good.
More than 40 restaurants joined this year, including those who serve traditional American food, Mexican food, Italian food, Indian food, Japanese food, and even frozen yogurt and ice cream. Frozen yogurt owner Veronica has joined the event for the past few years. She believes this is a great way to raise awareness about local businesses.
Every year we get to introduce 3,000 plus new freshmen to our company, and so this is a great opportunity to reach out to new students here.
Many people also say this is a fun way to learn about local restaurants and can bring Iowa City communities together. Reporting in Iowa City downtown, Zhao Li, Daily Iowan TV.
Yesterday, Governor Terry Branstad made a disaster declaration for 5 northeast Iowa counties. This comes after severe storms and flash flooding hit the area on August 23rd, causing major flooding. The counties included in the disaster declaration are Alamaki, Clayton, Fayette, and Howard, and the Winnebago counties. The disaster declaration means the state of Iowa's resources can be used to help with the response and recovery. The Iowa Department of Natural Resources says police should avoid contact with the floodwaters due to potential contamination from wastewater. Well, thankfully, Iowa City avoided a lot of that rain, but let's see what's going on in weather. Let's toss it over to Sam Andelman in the weather studio. Sam?
Thanks, Cole. This afternoon, we see the weather reaching the mid-70s with a mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, the weather will be coming down to the lower 70s with a 45% chance of thunderstorms. Tomorrow morning, the temperature will reach the low 70s with a 58% chance of thunderstorms. It doesn't look like the gloomy weather will end any in the following couple days. Now for your 6-day forecast. We will see the temperature raise to the lower 80s with a 48% chance of thunderstorms Monday. We will see the temperature staying in the low 80s with a 60% chance of thunderstorms. Tuesday, the thunderstorms will stick around with a 40% chance with the weather staying at the mid-80s. Moving beyond Tuesday, we will see the weather staying at the low 80s, dropping down to the mid-60s at night, staying clear for the rest of the next week. That's all for weather. Back to you, Cole.
Corn yield prospects in the eastern half of Iowa are above average from last year. On August 12th, the U.S. Department of Agriculture predicted record large U.S. corn harvests. This is thanks to the precipitation that helped increase the corn's growth. The corn yields this year are estimated at 189.6 bushels per acre compared to the 182.2 bushels per acre from last year. You do not typically associate rooftops and gardens, but one local Iowa City business did just that. Mark Ginsburg of MC Ginsburg created a hydroponic garden on his rooftop. Ginsburg said, quote, "It makes sense to use the space for something positive," end quote. The hydroponic garden works without soil, and the nutrients the plants needed are mixed into the water. Currently, the hydroponic garden is in its early stages and is working as an experiment. It's no secret that there is a lot of construction happening around campus. One of these construction projects is the Iowa City Gateway project on Dubuque Street. Daily Iowan TV reporter Daisy Lee explains all you need to know about this construction site.
The Iowa City Gateway project aims to reduce the closures of Dubuque Street and Park Road Bridge due to the flood. In order to minimize the backwater flood impacts and to better serve the transit and pedestrians, the Gateway project will raise Dubuque Street and elevating the Park Road Bridge by 10 feet.
The construction work started in March 2016 and is scheduled to finish in August 2018. The traffic is reduced to one lane in each direction of Dubuque Street, and it will remain like this through the whole project. The city wants to expedite the progress due to the heavy traffic.
Yeah, it definitely takes longer to get to class when the CAN buses are slowed down by the construction because there's only one lane going over there. I have my bike up here so I can ride that when the CAN buses are taking a long time.
The buses have just been running a little bit slower. I'll probably move somewhere else because it's easier to get to my classes from a different dorm.
However, the CAN bus route and schedule will still remain the same. The red route, blue route, Mayflower shuttle, and the Hawkeye Inter dorm are running down Dubuque Street. Students who live in Mayflower Residence Hall or who need to ride with this CAN bus are expecting a few minutes delay during peak hours. Students may want to manage time well to avoid being late for school. Reporting from Iowa City, Dubuque Street, Daisy Lee, Daily Iowan TV.
Well, football season's just around the corner, and I'm excited to get back into Kinnick, so let's toss it over to sports with Katie and Taylor. Ladies, what's going on?
Thanks, Cole. We are also so excited. My final semester here at Iowa, so this season at Kinnick will be absolutely amazing.
And I'm so excited for my first time at Kinnick, and not as a fan, but as a reporter this year.
Exactly, yeah, so much fun.
Well, we're doing things a little differently on this Friday morning.
Yes, we are. With it not being a game week, unfortunately, we will save the Iowa football talk for next Friday's pregame show for the Hawkeyes' first game against Miami of Ohio. But for now, we will look at other teams across the board in college football.
That's right. The AP Top 25's first poll came out earlier this week. And let's see where some teams in the country and in the Big Ten land.
Well, we see Alabama at the top, the reigning champions. Their defensive line, a huge monster powerhouse this season, going to be crazy.
That's right. Rest of the top five, Clemson, Oklahoma, Florida State, LSU. No surprise there for any of those teams.
Not at all. A lot of All-Americans within those teams. Then we look towards who from the Big Ten made the cut. Ohio State and Michigan side by side at 6 and 7, while Michigan State is at number 12.
You'll also find Iowa in at 17th. So not too bad at all for the Big Ten.
No, not at all. Now, as far as the Big Ten conference as a whole, the West seems to favor Iowa again to go to the Big Ten championship, fingers crossed. But as far as the East, who knows at this point?
And starting with our new segment called Around the Big Ten, we begin in the East with two powerhouse teams that Iowa won't see this season. Michigan State and Ohio State. You know, unless, of course, the Big Ten championship becomes an option.
Agreed. For Ohio State, they lost 9 players to the NFL draft in April, something head coach Urban Meyer hasn't experienced in his time as a head coach. So for now, it's getting their young guys used to that game-like experience.
Just reaction to game, you know, to the job, running into the shoe in front of 110,000 people. And the good thing is at Ohio State, we already had the 100,000 people for a spring game. And just the experience factor. How do you get them, how do you stay healthy yet put them in a game-like situations as much as possible during training camp? That's what's keeping me awake a little bit right now. And Coach Marotti, obviously, that's my go-to on those type of things. And how do you give them a game, you know, how do you let them experience 3rd down and 6 and at full speed, full reps and still have a healthy team by the time you get to September 3rd. However, I can't recall a time where you're talking about a very, very talented group of players that have waited their turn, and a very talented group that just got there in June we're going to play them. My goal is to play every freshman. I know that doesn't happen, but we want to play the freshmen as soon as we can.
Yeah, just all the new faces that are there, and the guys who have played aren't there anymore, and guys are coming up to me, asking me questions, as I expected they would, and guys have been that before in the past. It's kind of how to go about business at the Woody Hayes and acts and stuff like that.
Moving to Michigan State, they beat Iowa in the Big Ten championship last season, but lost to Alabama 38-0 in the Cotton Bowl. So how does a team like that move on from something and have a new mindset for the season?
That game sort of got out of hand. I said, my wife tells me, get over it. She says, hey, get over it, you lost. But, I thought it was a competitive game in the first half. But what I said to our football team is, hey, we've gone this far, but there's still ways we have to go.
It's tough. I mean, yeah, it's never fun to lose, and it's never fun to lose 38-0. But in this profession, I think you have to have a short-term memory. If you don't, you're not going to be successful. I was over it within a week or two. I mean, it's not like something, dang, man, we lost. Why live like that? It's all about, okay, let's go. Let's use that as motivation to make ourselves better in the future.
Just as Dano said, you just have to move on from it. The same thing, unfortunately, happened in the Rose Bowl with Iowa. And their mindset this season, clean slate, everyone's 0-0, so just got to move forward.
That's right, and even with going 12-0 and then losing those next two games, I know Kirk, and along with the players, they're not even thinking about last season. It's a new year. New things are going to happen.
Yeah, if anything, just a little bit of motivation. We will tour around the Big Ten Conference again next Friday, so keep with us for that new edition of Pregame.
Well, some Iowa sports are in action this weekend, though, as field hockey starts their season on Saturday when they travel to number 7 Wake Forest.
And soccer is on the road as well this afternoon in Minneapolis, where they will square off against Eastern Michigan before traveling back home on Sunday for a game at the Iowa Soccer Complex against Wyoming.
And the Iowa volleyball team is also away this weekend at the Northern Illinois Invitational in DeKalb. And bringing along with them is some mental toughness that they learned the hard way last season. Zach Mackey tells us more.
Year number 2 for Bon Szymanski and crew, as the focus is being competitive throughout the entire course of the season.
Yeah, we want to be able to continue that level of success that we showed in the pre-conference last year, and we had great wins over Iowa State and Texas A&M, and it was really a launching point in belief for our group that we are capable of competing at the highest level.
This year, the team's in a totally new predicament with a senior-heavy lineup.
It's not an individual type of sport. Teamwork is huge. And being able to lead and guide the youngsters is huge. It's just kind of like you show and tell. You show, and youngsters pick up on that.
We're equipped just because, again, we've been playing together for a year now, so we should be ready to go. We're ahead of the game already.
Szymanski's asking the entire team to buckle down and be mentally tough throughout the entire season.
And then the Big Ten will test your true mental toughness. And so that's what we really need to make sure that we're examining, striving for, and kind of holding ourselves accountable for as we get deeper into October, November, and December.
To us, it's basically when you fail and you just got to get back up and keep performing, keep going, keep doing what you need to be doing, and just improving in that way.
Zach Mackey for Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Thanks, Zach. Meet us back on the Daily Iowan TV Sports set Monday morning for those results.
Also, it's finally going to be game week next week. About time college football starts again. We begin the week with position previews from Katie and I before previewing the first game next Friday. Also, the ones who are lucky enough to be inside Kinnick Stadium for a week early for the Back Porch Revival Tour, who features quarterback C.J. Beathard's brother, Tucker. Stay safe and stay dry.
Cole, back to you.
That's all we have for you today on Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check out our website, dailyiowan.com, for all the latest Iowa City news. For Daily Iowan TV, I'm Cole Johnson. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend.